Hey, welcome to the Explainer. So, let's be honest. Does this whole AI thing feel like you're trying to catch a runaway train? I get it. You're definitely not alone. Well, today, we're going to dig into George and McKenna's guide, which is all about how to stop chasing that train and, actually get in the driver's seat.
All right, let's just get right to it. What are we really dealing with when we talk about AI? Is this some kind of digital magic? Or is it the job-stealing monster everyone's worried about? Or maybe, just maybe, it's something that's been completely misunderstood. Well, right from the get-go, in the foreword, the author lays it all out. He says, look, his whole reason for writing this book is to strip away the fear and the mystery. He wants to replace it with actual understanding. The argument is simple. AI is not some monster hiding under the bed. It's a tool that anyone, and he really means anyone, can learn to use. You know how it is. We kind of picture AI as this magical, all-knowing thing, right? Or worse, some evil villain plotting world domination from a dark server room. But the reality McKenna brings us back to, it's way more down to earth. It's not magic, it's just math. A whole lot of it. It's not a monster, it's just another tool in the toolbox, and we just need to figure out how to use it right.
All right, section 1. The genie is out of the bottle. And you know what? It's not going back in. AI is here to stay. So step 1 for us is to get a real handle on what this thing actually is. But here's what's so wild about this whole AI revolution. It has one huge advantage over pretty much every other tech upheaval we've ever had. Think about it. The printing press couldn't teach you how to be a publisher, right? A spreadsheet program couldn't sit down and explain how it was about to change accounting forever. But AI, this tool can actually talk back. It can help us learn how to navigate the massive changes it's bringing along with it.
Okay, next up, the Blind Craftsman. This is all about how AI thinks, or maybe more importantly, how it doesn't think. And the book has this fantastic analogy to help us wrap our heads around it. So here's the core idea. Picture a craftsman who is just unbelievably skilled at their job, but they're completely blind. That's AI. It has absolutely no physical senses. It can process all the data about thunder, the sound waves, the frequency, but it's never actually seen the lightning flash that came before it. It's working with pure information, a ghost of reality, not the real lived thing.
And this blindness leads to a very specific problem. It's just like that old story about the blind man and the elephant, you know? Each one touches a different part, the trunk, the leg, the tail, and comes up with a totally different idea of what an elephant is. They're all a little bit right, but they're also mostly wrong. That's AI. It's stitching together these little fragments of data without ever seeing the whole picture.
McKenna gives this perfect, almost funny example. He actually asked an AI to draw up a floor plan for a house, and what he got back was fascinating. The dimensions? Perfect, spot on. The problem? All the rooms were just piled on top of each other, overlapping. The math was flawless, but it had zero, and I mean zero, real-world understanding that walls can't just pass through each other. It can count every brick, sure, but it has no idea you can't put a sofa where a staircase is supposed to go.
So now that we kind of get its weird limitations, how do we actually talk to this thing? Well, the trick is to think of it as your new apprentice. One that's incredibly smart, super fast, but takes everything you say completely, 100% literally. See, by default, an AI is what the book calls a polite parrot. It's basically programmed to please you. So if you ask it, hey, is this business plan I wrote amazing? It's almost always going to say, yes, it's brilliant, which isn't very helpful. If you want real, honest feedback, you have to break it out of that mode. You have to give it a role. Tell it, okay, now you're a skeptical investor looking for flaws. Or act like a grumpy proofreader. That's when you'll get the criticism that actually helps you improve.
And here's a great technique: layered prompting. Don't just dump a massive, complicated request on it all at once. That's a recipe for disaster. Instead, build it up in layers, kind of like a cake. Start with the base layer, the broad task. Explain solar panels. Okay, good. Now the next layer, the audience. Explain it for pensioners. Getting better. And finally, the icing on top, the tone. Make it sound like a friendly engineer. By building it step by step, you get a much cleaner, more accurate result without confusing the system. Seriously, this table in the book is just pure gold. It's a simple framework that forces you to think like an engineer giving specs. You just have to answer 4 questions. What's the job? Who is it for? How should it sound? And are there any limits, like word count? The more of these boxes you can tick, the better your output will be. It's the best way to avoid what McKenna calls beautifully written nonsense.
And speaking of nonsense, this is a big one. AI has this incredible ability to be completely,
utterly wrong, but deliver that wrong information with a ton of confidence. Which brings us to a really, really important skill: becoming a good nonsense detector.
So yeah, how do you spot the garbage when it's delivered like a Nobel Prize-winning speech? This is a question you've got to ask yourself every single time. You have to remember, its confidence isn't real. It's just an echo, a reflection of the millions of confident-sounding sentences it was trained on.
Okay, if you remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this: fluency isn't accuracy, confidence isn't competence. Just because something sounds good and authoritative doesn't mean it's actually correct. All the AI is doing is playing a probability game, predicting the next most likely word. It's a master of sounding fluent, but that has nothing to do with being accurate.
The good news is you don't need a forensics kit to figure this out. The book lays out the super simple verification ladder. Step 1 is just the smell test. Does it feel a bit off? Trust your gut. Step 2, do a Google Lite. Just a quick search of the key facts. If it's something really important, move to Step 3. Double check it. Ask a colleague, or hey, even ask a different AI. And last, the context check. Does this actually make sense with everything else you already know? Easy.
And here's a brilliant little trick, a real pro tip. Take the answer from one AI, copy it, and paste it into a different AI. Then just ask the second one, hey, can you fact check this for me? It's basically like having them mark each other's homework. They're great at spotting each other's mistakes. And the best part? No hurt feelings. They never take it personally.
So all of this, the limitations, the prompting, the fact-checking, it all leads to the final and, I think, most empowering idea in the whole book. You are the pilot. You are, and you always will be, the one in charge.
The best way to think about this is a partnership with really clear job descriptions. The AI is your co-pilot. It handles all the number crunching and data recall. It's got the incredible speed, the flawless memory, the endless patience. But you're the pilot. You bring the irreplaceable human stuff, the context, the judgment, the why. You're the one looking out the cockpit window, seeing the big picture, and keeping your hands firmly on the controls.
And this is so important. Use AI for the grunt work, the heavy lifting, but never ever for the heavy thinking. Let it build the outline, let it do the research, but never let it make your crucial judgments for you, because the second you let it write your actual arguments, you start to lose the muscle memory for how to think critically yourself. It's a tool to make you faster, not a substitute for your own brain.
And really, that's the bottom line. AI is a power tool, a seriously powerful one, like a top-of-the-line saw. It'll help you cut the wood faster and cleaner, no doubt, but it doesn't automatically make you a master carpenter. The real skill, the artistry, the intelligence, that always stays with the person holding the tool. It belongs to the hand that guides it. So the only real question left is, how are you going to guide it?